Before we continue, records of Polura stargazers. Disconnected data on the world wound collected by the stargazers of Polura will not be of any help if it's not studied in detail and properly organized. The calculations of Polura stargazers have been studied. Perfect. That's it. So now we can end this one and return to Dresden, our main army. We have a lot of conversations to have. Darren looks a little, the merest trifle, more serious than usual. More grain, we need to talk. Under strictest confidence. I'm going to invite you to a not a date. Yes, you heard me correctly, a not a date. If by some chance you imagine you see wine, cushions and treats laid out before you, you should know that it is merely an optical illusion. First, you give me roses that have nothing to do with courting me, then you run me a bath under the pretext of the commander needs to wash, and now this? Exactly. I'm obviously not interested in you, I'm making no attempts to impress you, and I am definitely not trying to demonstrate any affection for you. Do you believe me? Drain looks at you, his eyes alight with sincerity. No. And don't ever propose anything like this ever again. Darain grits his teeth. How unexpected. Forget this conversation ever happened. I won't bother you anymore. He bows briefly and leaves. Lan looks resolute. More grain. We've got ourselves settled in here, so it's time to go back for the mongrels. If we don't do it, Sal will keep stalling until Yomide herself comes down to drag him out. Why do you want to go back for them? You showed them the light of the heaven. The shield maze has fallen. The ancient mongrel prophecy has come true. They want to go up to the surface, but they're afraid of taking the first step on their own. I can understand them. My father would have never gone to the surface if my mom hadn't encouraged him. Everyone needs support before taking an important step. Besides, you helped the young ones. Saved them from the eternal curse, or whatever the demon and Wendell tried to cast on them. Unlike Anakin Skywalker, he didn't help the young ones. Oh, goodness. Kenobi. The first episode started of the new television series, and immediately another Order 66 scene in Coruscant. I'm pretty sure that one of the younglings, one of the people we saw there, was the person that later became one of the Inquisitors, the girl that has this fetish for Kenobi, but we'll see. If they don't follow you now, I'm afraid another Savamelech who might come along and take advantage of them again. May I ask why you are coming to me with this now? Lan hesitates. You know, I just had so much on my plate. First we were running around putting out fires in Kenabris, then we were running away from the gargoyles, then we were running to save Dresden. Why don't we run to the caves now? I could ask the Queen to summon the mongrels as crusaders. Sal would like a real decree with a seal, but asking you is easier for me. Asking a queen about such a little thing is awkward, and you don't seem to have anything to do right now. No, just running crusader business, trying to save planet from a demonic invasion. Sure, I have nothing to do. I know, because managing a huge fortress is so easy as sarcasm, of course. I will accept the mongrels, but they will obey the same rules as all my soldiers. That won't be a problem. They are some hotheads, but they know that if you want to listen, to live, listen to what the adults are telling you rule. Niflholm has been revealed. A sharp-looking kitsune gives you a quick, business-like bow. Commander, the matters before us are urgent, so let's not stand on ceremony. I am Lady Konomi, the official attaché of Nerosian. Here are my credentials. She presents a scroll adorned with Golfrey's seal. Her Majesty has instructed me to lead your headquarters diplomatic council. Honestly, I was surprised when Lady Konomi asked me to join this council, but I will do my best to fill the shoes of a trained diplomat. Yes, strange. I got invited to the council too. I'm sure foreign ambassadors will be thrilled to see my face and my manners. Lady Konomi, you haven't mistaken me for some other Crusader Lan, have you? I, like many nobles, have been trained in diplomacy, and in fact I hold the title of Royal Emissary. It is passed down the Arende line. I must say that prior to this day I employed my diplomatic skills solely to undermine Mendiv's international reputation. It is time to break that habit. I imagine preventing international scandals will be just as interesting as causing them. Who knows, I might even enjoy it. What's the Diplomatic Council and why do I need it? To solve matters of politics, of course. The Crusades is more than just battles and sieges. It is the largest military project in all of Avestan. Funded by the treasuries of more than a dozen major powers, and each one of those powers, in addition to seeking victory over the demons, also pursues its own goals. The Diplomatic Council will manage this tangle of political interests and prevent the crusade from losing the favor of influential benefactors. And while we are at it, ensure that Nerosian remains satisfied with the state of affairs. After all, for the last 100 years, the entirety of Mendevian politics has revolved around the Crusades in some shape or form. That is why the capital has sent me, to observe, offer suggestions, and keep the diplomatic situation under control. I see. You've been sent to keep an eye on me. Whatever gave you that idea, Commander? I am not an overseer, I am your loyal advisor. I do not intend to meddle in the way you run things, just consult with you in cases where the price of error is too high. Put your trust in me, and we'll get along swimmingly. After all, none of us here want to see Cheliax and Drumar at each other's throats, trying to settle their dispute by using their influence on us as political leverage. Am I wrong? And I doubt you would like if we made enemies in the ranks of Nerosian nobility who would attempt to undermine your war effort. This won't happen as long as you trust my experience. Tell me more about the Royal Council. What is it? The Royal Council, operating under Her Majesty, is the highest governing body in Mendev, and comprises her most able and trusted servants. It is responsible for day-to-day matters of state. They are the hands and the voice of the Queen. The Council has gathered people from all walks of life. Some of them are nobles, but many more are citizens of humble origins who earn their positions through their wit. Many are rich, but a fair number of them are of more humble means. Some are pious and pure of heart, like Lord Inquisitor Gassori and Captain Jasper of the Crusader Heralds. Others are more flexible and ambitious, but each of them faithfully serves Mendiv's cause. I have a question about the composition of this council. Do you find someone's presence surprising? Social has never had to deal with diplomatic concerns before. Well, that won't be a problem. In my homeland, Tianxiar, inviting clerics and paladins of Mishulin, the Lady of Chrysanthemums, to take part in diplomatic missions is a common practice. They may not be politicians, but they're perceptive, advocate peace, and favor balanced solutions. I am flattered by the respect the worshippers of my goddess receive in Lady Konomi's homeland. Social bows his head cautiously. Not cautiously, courteously. I won't let you down, Mograine, and I'll make every effort to prevent our friends from becoming our enemies. Why did you want Derain to take part in this council? Why? Because of Count Erende's influence, naturally. He's a Mendevian aristocrat. Nobility will be inclined to listen to his opinion, and by ensuring the support of the nobles, we'll find ourselves powerful allies. Derain sneers back at her. Oh, believe me, Lady Konomi, I will exert all my effort and influence to make this council's job exciting. Why did you choose Lan to join the council? We diplomats call this little trick Mysterious Garundi Prince. During negotiations, it's always useful to have on your side a representative of some obscure but potentially populous and powerful nation. Without knowing what they're up against and how many Mongols there are, our diplomatic partners will have to contend with this dark horse. So Mr. Lan will be our mongrel prince. If we are negotiating with foreign ambassadors, and I make this sign, Lady Konomi crosses her fingers in an intricate gesture, you immediately start talking about how offensive their proposition is to the Mongol people. Do we have a deal, Mr. Lan? Lan scoffs and glowers at Lady Konomi. I suspected that the word diplomat was synonymous with fraud, but I thought you would be deceiving me, not deceiving others with my help. No, that's not an option. I can represent the Mongols in negotiations, but I'm not going to lie through my teeth. And tell me about yourself, Lady Konomi. Who are you? Lady Konomi lowers her eyes in a show of modesty. It's unbecoming of a diplomat to talk about themselves at length, but how am I to refuse? I come from Tianxia, from the noble Kitsune. Like any Kitsune, I've always been cautious to a fault, and my adventures brought me to Avestan. Here in your lands, I met my first and true love, politics. I've served as a diplomat in the courts of 6 different sovereigns, but working for Her Majesty turned out to be the most interesting of all. Such riveting webs of intrigues and interests are spun around the crusade and the world wound. What's on the Council's agenda today? I hate to say it, Commander, but not everyone in Erosian is pleased with your progress. Some believe that, to use their words, you are out of control and fancy yourself an independent leader. It wouldn't surprise me if you encountered supply disruptions in the near future. I would suggest quelling their anger. Show the capital you haven't forgotten about the chain of command. For example, you could hold a parade in honor of Her Majesty. If we need to demonstrate that we're keeping Nerosian in mind, why don't we invite the capital's high priest to Dresden for a religious festival? It'll be appropriate, and the church's support will shield us from the accusations of schemers. Pander to the naysayers? I think not. I propose we hold a parade in your honor, Mograine. This is your victory, and if Cousin Golf wants to show off in front of the soldiers, she's welcome to capture something of her own. Lan's eyes flash with anger. Are they out of their mind? We've got a whole Dresden full of soldiers who need medicine, food, and weapons. Until everyone has been taken care of, we can't waste a single coin on pointless celebrations. What did I do to incur Nerosian's discontent? You were too good. You reclaimed Kenabris, you won the Battle of Dresden, you're a menace to the world wound. Your authority grows, and the influence of the Queen's confidence diminishes. This creates the impression that there's only enough space for you at the top. The members of the Royal Council are afraid that you will muscle them out of the political arena altogether. After all, if you're doing so well, maybe Her Majesty doesn't need them that much. Therefore, they might try to discredit you, impede your war effort, reduce the scale of your victories, make some concessions, and they'll see that you're open to negotiations. I want to hear the opinions of my advisors. Lady Konomi gives you a look of surprise. Whatever for? Are the wishes of the capital obvious enough? Although, very well, let us hear their counsel. Social, how does inviting the High Priest to a festival help us? Without a doubt, we should remain loyal to the Queen and respect the hierarchy, but that doesn't mean we have to kowtow the Royal Council wherever they ask. I think we should neither do their bidding nor seek to quarrel with them. Rather, we should try to take the middle path. The High Priest of Nerosian is a powerful figure, yet he's not a schemer or a politician. By inviting him to the festival, we'll both show that we are not cutting ties with Nerosian, and let them know that we have influential friends and are not about to buckle under the Royal Council. And Derain, what's the point of taunting the capital by throwing a parade in my honor? There's a fine line between taunting and setting boundaries, and between showing respect and putting on a collar. Mind you, I'm not suggesting anything treasonous or disrespectful. A parade in honor of a true hero of Dresden and Kenabris, what could be more natural than that? Besides, a healthy amount of disobedience guarantees that people won't pester you with lectures and nonsense as often. A dozen tutors responsible for my upbringing can attest to that one. Provoking the capital would be unwise. We're trying to avoid unpleasant consequences, not expedite them. I'm sure there was merely an extravagant jest on the Count's part. Lan, do you think ignoring the capital's worries is a good idea? And what are they going to do about it? We're the ones protecting them from the demons, not the other way around. Having loyalties from the capital is great, but there are more important things, like having the loyalty of our own soldiers. When the demons come, what will we do? Shake our fists and say we've got powerful friends in Erosian? Why, that's true. Who needs to say friends with those who supply you with provisions, recruits, and weapons? I was about to say the same. And there's certainly no reason to fear that base jealousy and envy at the sight of your glory might get the better of their common sense, because that has never happened before. Lady Konomi, what good will a parade in Her Majesty's honor do? It will be symbolic and affordable. Show them how much you respect and value Her Majesty. How much you respect and value Her Majesty. Make a courtesy to those who pay for your arrows, swords, and bread. The Royal Council has power. You wouldn't want to turn those patrons into adversaries and test whose influence is greater, yours or theirs. Please them, and they will stop worrying about your loyalty, and you will be able to focus on your war. So let me get this straight. Hiding behind our backs and buying their safety from the demon invasion with bread and other people's lives is a new form of charity? Are you sure we should go to them, drop our knees and thank them for allowing us to die in this war? Okay, so religious feast decree. Energy points increased by 20%, finance points reduces by 10. Okay, I don't really care about that. Commander's parade. Cost of recruiting mercenary would pay, okay, material point reduces. I don't really care about that. Helping those in need. Crusade morale increased by 10 or by 20 if crusade morale is below 0. That repeatable, yeah, but our morale is not that low. Finance points income increases by 10%. I don't need any of this. Well, we have enough finance points. What we need are energy points, so let's go with religious. Social, invite the High Priest of Nerosian to the religious festival. Let's go the middle path. A moment, Commander. I understand that you're used to being the highest authority in all matters, but political decisions are an exception. I'm a professional in this field, you are not. By ignoring my recommendations, you are not only deliberately seeking conflict with the capital, but disregarding common sense as well. I urge you to reconsider. You've invited my companions to the diplomatic council, and now you refuse to listen to their opinions? I am simply suggesting that you give your companions time to find their feet in the council, and to grasp the principles of being a diplomat. Also, if there were no council, your decisions could be mistaken for the decrees of a tyrant. And that's definitely not the public image you need. Ah, now I understand the role that I've been given, Lady Konomi. I'm supposed to stand in a pretty doublet and keep my mouth shut. I can promise you the former, but not the latter. Maybe we can romance her if we follow her opinion. I mean, apparently she wants this, so whatever, I don't care. Persuasive speech. Well, very well, I've changed my mind. We'll hold a parade in the Queen's honor. I'm glad that you've listened to my proposal. Making friends in the Royal Council will go a long way. It's good that we've got off on the right foot, Commander. There will be plenty more issues requiring your decision soon, but I do not doubt that we will handle them just as expediently. Okay. I still don't care. Okay, I have to go. Nothing new here. Odd that the game is trying to force me to choose something. Maybe this would have had serious consequences for the rest of our journey, so maybe making friends isn't bad. Yeah, where should we go first? Canables. Burn down check. Okay. Fortress city on the border of the world wound for many years. Okay. Manage crusade force and events. Let's do that one right now. Okay, nothing here. And I've changed my mind. We're going back to this overview. Let's go back to Canables. 2 days, 12 hours. What the heck? Apparently it's not possible for us to do this faster. Oh, spotted the enemy. Wait, evade? We could have evaded the fight? What? Why did no one tell me that this is a button that exists? Derachne. Oh dear.
Do not hold back.
Smash them, please. Goodbye. Perfect. Now smash the big one. Perfect. Wow, we can evade the enemies? I mean, you've just seen the button. That was interesting. Of course, now we are going to recruit new units. Shield bearers, yes. Marksmen, of course. Oh, Hell Knights. Very important. Oh, we can recruit rangers. That's very good. Where's our main army right now? That's our main army, right? Yes, okay. So, say hello to our main army. Oh, that was the wrong button. I'm sorry. I didn't want to do that. Bye. Development of the art of war. Combat effectiveness of the Crusader armies increased. The military council requests that the Crusade leader attend their meeting and receive an update report. Economy, Royal Parade. Decree, okay, can't do that right now. Rank up. Can't do that right now. Decree. Can do nothing here right now, okay. So we have to return. But right now we're not going to return, we need to go to Canables. It's more important. And I want to talk, of course, to our storyteller. I mean, we found more parchments. There's someone on the road. Ah, that's a trap. Of all the scrolls the intendant gave us, you chose this one, really? It didn't even occur to you that this was a problem? How are we going to face our mentor now? Ah, this is just a spell that... well, long story short, it will help us against the demons. We still want to be safe from the demons, don't we? The young man, who stands staring at something squirming in the center of the meadow, turns his gaze to you. Ah, seems like we've got reinforcement. And it's the commander, no less. Who the hell are you? The young man salutes you hastily. We are Crusaders, mighty commander. The squires of Sir Alfred, commander. He will be here shortly once he finishes inspecting the positions. We are preparing for battle. What happened to you? We are escorting rescued prisoners to Kenabres. After we heroically liberated them. The young man beams with pride. But there's an issue. Those from whom they were rescued now pursue us. So our leader and mentor, noble Sir Alfred, decided to take a defensive position and fight. And we tried to get ready for that battle. The young man looks hesitantly at the squirming plants. Point at the moving sprouts. What is that? This is a cluster of flexible, elongated, pulsating objects. These are the sprouts of plants whose behavior seems highly uncharacteristic for plants. You can call it a demon trap. Yes, definitely. A demon trap. They only look like ropes that are wider at the base and narrower at the ends and suddenly gain the ability to move. You're trying to say like tentacles? By the way, did you know one of 8 tentacles of a male octopus is also reproductive? Or what the... We don't use words like this here. Like pollen, yes, that's right. The plant shoots are full of pollen. So where is your leader? Did he color his hair blue? He is here and hurrying to appear before you. The Arsimar stand... Oh, he didn't color it, he's an Arsimar. The Arsimar standing before you screams of chivalry. His armor and gear have seen many battles, but they are carefully polished. Every belt is properly fitted, and every buckle sparkles. The Arsimar gallantly greets you. My sincere greetings to the Knight Commander of the 5th Crusade, the hero of the Battle of Kenabres and the Battle for Dresden, and my kindred in celestial blood. Meeting you is an undeniable honor and a heartfelt joy for me. I am Sir Alfred, a loyal follower of divine Eomide, a knight, a nobleman and a crusader. These young men are my squires, and we... The knight interrupts himself and turns his gaze to the sprouts spring forth from the ground. His eyes go wide. What is this? Sir, as we were about to deport the garrison, the intendant Ingarcanist gave us a scroll that creates a demon trap. We decided that now is the best time to use it. This is a very good trap, sir. These wriggling, serpent-like grabbers, not tentacles, can firmly hold a demon. Exactly. These rope-like, moving, sprouting pseudopods have the optimal shape to grab and immobilize a demon. Why don't you just call them tentacles? The first squire grows pale. The second one clutches his chest and steps back. A martyred expression appears on Sir Alfred's face, and he seems to struggle for a moment. Then he says, I respect your opinion immensely, Commander, for it is born out of your wisdom and experience. And yet it does not seem to me that these vine-like magic devices deserve to be called that. Play along. These bendable, sinuous sprouts will surely help fight demons. The squire looks at you in silent gratitude and utters a sigh of relief. We have cleared up the question that troubled me. Now it is time to turn our attention to more pressing matters. Tell me, my squires, did you brief the commander and outline the gravity of our situation? Yes or no? I don't remember. I think something was said about a very, very nasty demon. The knight sighs. I beg your pardon, and I ask that you do not judge these two young men harshly. They cannot be blamed for lack of diligence. They are just young. They have not yet fully mastered the art of war and have not realized the importance of discipline. In time, they will become the pride of the Crusader forces. I am certain of it. Squire smiles as he listens to the knight's words. The second squire proudly thrusts out his chest as he discreetly tries to wipe a clump of mud off his armor. I'll brief you myself, Commander. A monster really is pursuing us. But it is not a demon, it is something even more heinous and unnatural, a demodend. The assessment of it as a very, very nasty creature is accurate. My squires and I raided its lair and liberated several prisoners this thing was going to drag to the abyss. But now the monster is coming after us. I estimate it will be here in half an hour. We plan to fight. I'll be happy to help you. It is wonderful news, Commander. It will be an honor to fight side by side. Please prepare yourself for a very, very nasty demodend. Will soon be here. Very nasty demodend. The creature that appears before you looks alien and disgusting, even to those accustomed to the abominations of the world wound. Very, very nasty is a fitting description. Its flesh seems to boil and melt, and long dark growth constantly shift and stretch along its flesh. The demodend looks at Sir Alfred, then to you, then back to the knight.
Is there no escape from the blood of celestial beings? It is everywhere. First the spawn of the upper planes broke into my lair, and now there are two of you. What won't help you though? You stole my offering to my masters, and for this you will become my offering. Your weapons are nothing. They can barely scratch me while I can crush you like insects.
I am the commander of the Fifth Crusade, bestowed upon Goddess Iomide with celestial power. I can burn you with the power of looking at you, and these people are under my protection. You hear that, monster? We're not the only ones standing against you. Our hero and leader stands with us. Be afraid, monster, for the final hour of your villainy in the land of Golarion has come. And don't try to threaten me with your might, your invincibility, or even those... The knight casts a wary glance at the demodend's ever-shifting skin growth. Disgusting appendages. For the strength of a true knight is not in his shield, sword, or armor. A brave heart is my sword, and my faith in a righteous cause my shield. Attack!
Defeat is not an option.
Sir Alfred catches a breath, looking around the battlefield. I thank you for your help, Commander. And I thank you even more for the great tact and care you've shown. I noticed that you've played along with the squires and did mention a certain word. A word that causes me great discomfort. Painful memories related to a traumatic experience in the past. If you will allow it, I will not bring this topic up again. It's too difficult for me. I was happy to help. My gratitude has no bounds. Thank you. Before you move on to the great next things that lay ahead of you, allow me to present you with a small gift. A humble knight, no matter how noble, could hardly possess something that would surprise you, but let this gift serve as a memento of our encounter. Okay. Goodbye. Can we talk to anyone? Do they talk to us? No. Okay. Goodbye, area. There's no loot, right? No. I mean, he gave us a hand axe. Not that. Agile hand axe +4. Yeah, the battle axe of Rovagurus, of course. Better. Isn't he... What is this?
Practice makes perfect.
Isn't he a dude with axes? Touch of floor? Crushing cold. Cone of cold. 40, 64, 57. Okay. So let's give him the battle axe of Florback. Perfect. Alrighty.